Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Appreciate you being here. We are going to help move your life forward today in silence. That's what we're doing. We're going to talk about essentially nothing in a way, silence, and how it is a game changer. It can move your life forward. They've often said silence is golden. There's a song by Depeche Mode, came on at the gym just a little while ago on my playlist, came out in the 90s or 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Enjoy the silence. What's so special about nothing? The silence. We're going to talk about that today. So much to dig into. We're not going to be silent because we can't. This is such an important topic. She's an amazing psychotherapist. So wonderful to have her back with us. Susie Engel is on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Steve. It's a beautiful day, and I always have a good intention at the beginning of every day. So thank you for asking, and I'm so happy to be here.
I'm grateful that you're here because this is something that needs to be talked about because we don't realize it. It's almost as if when you say to somebody, you need to breathe or breathe deeper or do breath work, intentional breathing. People are like, I breathe anyway. What are you talking about? But that is healing and therapeutic, but so is silence. And this kind of began, I wrote this down a week or two ago, and it's in my notes right here, quiet is the beginning of the cure.
That's great. Yeah. So so it's not nothing, it's a lot, right? And when you talk about quiet is a cornerstone, we've also used words like regulation, self-regulation, calming the body, and we all can relate to, whether it's an infant or anyone of our age group, and in the middle of that, I hear feedback of my voice.
Do you need some? Are you trying to tell me you need some silence? Is that what it is?
I need silence from hearing my own feedback.
I don't know why I was doing that, but we got everything, the way it should be said. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know. No, so that's fine. But silence, and we all can relate to this, is at the end of a day, we don't feel like talking. We just want to decompress. We just want to do our thing, maybe process a little bit, or maybe just realize we left everything at the office, or we left everything in a backpack locked in our trunk of the car. I mean, I'm very good at just leaving everything here at the office, but I don't feel like talking necessarily unless I have plans to socialize. But I like to just take this moment and have quiet and silence. And it's funny, a lot of people are uncomfortable with, a lot of therapists are uncomfortable with quiet and silence in sessions. So
I find that interesting. Because this all came up for me because I intentionally have taken the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and just tapped the brakes a little bit. Getting a little warmer out here in the Northeast, taking some more walks with my dog, seeing things, just taking it a little easier. And it's been an eye opener. It's not like I'm not social, got plans tonight, doing something tomorrow, doing something the day after that. But around that, I love the silence. And my dog, first thing in the morning, he'll wake up. He's like, he wants to go out. Whether he has to really go to the bathroom, he just wants to go out into nature. And I'm like, dude, no, just lay down. Give me another minute because I just want to sit there in bed and be in silence. Not to go back to sleep, although that could happen. But the silence is so wonderful. Just the thinking and just allowing your brain to go where it wants to go. Is it true healing? Is that because I heard that recently?
Yes, definitely. I mean, think about meditation
Mm.
and think about yoga and think about, all these things that are healthy techniques of going inward and the the contrast between busyness and input and output compared to quiet and regulation and um, whether it's total silence or just that calm. I mean, I just think that there's so much to it. And also for most people who self-diagnose or go to a therapist and get diagnosed, um, and I would ward against self-diagnosing. It's just unnecessary because there are ways to cope with whatever patterns we want to break. Um,
Mm.
there are there's something to be said about taking a break, quieting our mind, regulating ourselves. That's the cornerstone of coping with anxiety or going above the window of tolerance that we've often spoken about, or going below the window of tolerance and feeling, exhausted and depleted, and you
Mm.
want to curl up and put a hoodie. But when we can quiet ourselves, it gives us a little recess.
Isn't it funny that you look at things differently? So here's my example. FedEx has been trying to deliver a package. Comedy of errors. They put the wrong number on the door tag. That's on my door. So I can't even track the package. I'm not even sure what packages is, but they're saying they're delivering it. And then there was another door tag that was connected to a package that went to a residence. This is my business. And they've screwed that up. They're like, this comedy of errors going. And then they're like, we made 4 attempts. I said, well, I only have 2 on my door. I don't know what you're talking about. Just bring my package. And then your representative said that I don't need to sign for it. But now they're telling me I do need to sign. And my first thought is, you're taking away my peace. In my mind, I'm giving energy to this. Just drop the package off. That's it. Come in. I'll sign for it. But it's taking, this stupidity is taking, and I don't talk like that often, like comedy of errors.
No, I know you don't. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's taking away my silence. I'm on the phone twice, 3 times with representatives. One was fantastic. The other 2 kind of clueless. You're taking away my peace. My point here is, that was my silence. I had a little time in between shows. So I'm going to take a little bit of time here and just, I like to reflect and everything. Now I got to be on the phone. But you realize the value of your peace when things like that present. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. And what you're identifying is the frustration, the day-to-day frustrations
We all have them.
dealing with whether it's AI or a delivery or this or that, whatever it
Sure.
is, cable, being on the phone,
Yeah.
mistake with something that you have to remedy, which is unfortunate that they're not able to remedy it. But that's frustration. Frustration is a low level on the spectrum of anger,
Yeah.
and frustration is natural. That's a natural response. And I like what you're saying about recognizing, wow, I'm expending this energy on something that's kind of taking away from these few minutes I thought I had for
Yeah.
quiet and calm and silence and meditation. But the other issue is this: how many times during the day do we feed into
Yep.
conversations that are really non-conversations? How many times during the day does somebody defend themselves or answer to somebody else when, if they were calm and regulated and using maybe a few times a day to quiet themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they would be able to say, you know what, I'm not even going to respond to this. Now, I'm
Yes.
not talking about getting a package delivered. I'm talking about conversations when somebody in people's social lives or family lives or work lives have a way of getting somebody's defenses riled up, and then without realizing it, we're thrown into some sort of interaction. And if we quiet ourselves, we can say, wow, I'm on this. I am not partaking. This is not how I choose to spend my energy. And that's a great thing. All these conversations are talking about, are pointing to the benefit of, what do I feel in my body when I can quiet myself? Or when
Mm,
I'm in silence? What do I feel in my body? And how do I replicate that in day-to-day life?
mm.
Does that make
Well,
sense?
the recognition of it, even people that are around you that may be negative, and then realizing, I need to like maybe distance myself from certain people because I'm getting swallowed into this negativity. And even on the package thing, final thought, a little while ago, I said to the representative, thank you so much for bringing clarity. I said, you're wonderful. She really knew her stuff. And she apologized. And I was like, I know it's not you. And I even said, I'll just go pick up the package. I have to go to
Yeah.
the bank today. I have a little break here. And I said, I'll pick it up like around 2 o'clock or whatever. She goes, oh, I won't be in the depot until 4 to 6. I'm like, oh, okay. But whatever. But I think that
Of course.
I'm trying. It's the recognition of these things and how they can suck the silence out of you, take away your
Mhm,
peace, and that
mhm.
maybe you have to put a block up. But the awareness is, I guess, maybe half of it, because many of us probably going through our daily day with stuff, and
No,
we let it get to us.
yeah, the awareness is not half of it. The awareness of, I'm recognizing I'm feeling agitated. I'm recognizing I don't want to expend my energy this way. And sometimes we have to for a FedEx package, excuse me. And sometimes we don't, to partake in a conversation with somebody who's, whether the person is just negative. Remember, I'm allergic to negativity,
Oh, I love
or
that.
whether the person is, um, uh, just good at getting somebody on the defensive.
Mm,
The awareness is, like, I would say, 95% of it. And then we have choices. Then we can say, wait a minute, how do I want to handle this? Well, I want to keep my peace, which you did with this representative. You kept your peace or regulation. You were self-regulated. You didn't take out your frustration on the customer service person, which is awful. I mean, I feel badly for people who
mm,
who I feel badly for people who do that and victimize the customer service person. And I feel badly for the customer service person. I really don't like customer service people who are on the defensive and ready for it and just automatically curt and angry. And that takes away my peace when I'm calling somebody for
yep.
help with a good attitude.
I always
You
have
know,
a good attitude. I know I do. I'm like very
I know you do.
professional, giving the information. The dog, not dog, door tag number was incorrect, and we have
I
a
know.
comedy of errors here. But
Yeah.
it'll get resolved. But the point here is to recognize those things and not let it suck you into the negativity rabbit hole, or the one that's going to take away your peace
Yeah.
and take away your silence. You know.
Well, and when you're talking about silence and peacefulness, it's so different than so many other things that we have to do to cope. Because really, it's when we think about meditation, our quiet, our self-regulation, these things are inward and they're our own agency.
Mm,
And that's why it's way more than 50-50. That's why it's like 95%, kind of like playing sports. It's 95% mental or psychological, and 5% body and strength and athleticism, really.
mm,
Because if you're consciously unconscious while you're doing something, you're not criticizing, you're not taking away your own peace, you're not disrupting your flow or whatever this is. And these inward practices like breathing or meditating or appreciating our quiet time or our silence, whatever people want to label it as, that's so different than the life pace of our society. Like
Mm.
work, get these I'm saying taxes, it's the 15th. What I mean is tasks accomplished. What am I doing to get things accomplished? That's so outward and expending compared to the inward peacefulness and regulating and quieting. You
Mhm.
know, it's a good balance, it's healthy. And you mentioned the word before we recorded, detoxing. It's cleaning. It's like clean. I like it.
The silence is cleansing. I never
Cleansing.
thought of it that way. I heard that recently. By the way, I wrote down what you said. I'm allergic to negativity. I'll be using that one.
I'm like
It's so
so
good.
allergic to
That's
negativity.
so good. Um,
Yeah. That
now
came up in our negativity thing. I
that's
think we were talking about positivity actually.
it's
And I
so
was like, I'm
perfect.
allergic to negativity.
It's so perfect. It's almost as if you're putting up a boundary, and in a nice way. It's just you're being transparent when you say, and it just in a nice way. You're not pointing anybody out. You can be in the middle of a situation, and it's like I'm allergic to negativity. Just letting you know. Um,
Personally. Well, we
yeah,
don't even have to say it out loud. It's like note to self, I'm allergic to this, and I'll excuse myself. But I like what you said because I meant to follow up on this. You mentioned the word boundary before, and just think about it when we're expert at quieting ourselves and regulating ourselves and being in silence because we are our own agency, we are creating natural boundaries. There's like a natural, I had a client once, she did beautiful work. She was in her early 30s. She said, you know, Susan, nobody changed in my life. My boyfriend, my sister, my family, work, people, none of them changed. But I have this invisible force field around me now with the work I've done. And I
mm,
said, that's the key. That's it. So the boundary in recognizing what does my body feel, what does my mind feel like when I am quieting. Yeah,
it's
it's
beautiful.
good.
It's
Yeah,
like I crave quiet now. I crave it. Like like uh,
which is
I never
which
did
is great.
before.
Yeah, and don't you hear people talking about the opposite? Like, how should I distract myself? How should I keep myself busy? And that is so counterintuitive to me. You don't want to do things to distract. You want to sit with things and figure it and understand how you're affected. So I
Mm.
love it. I love it that you need doses. You're dosing yourself with quiet and
Oh, it's beautiful. And I want to go back to something you said about detoxing the mind. And when we think of certain things, and we've got that negative voice in our head. You play tennis.
yes,
Do you find that when you're not thinking about the game and thinking about, oh, I got to do this, I got to do it better, when you're just doing it, you're just whacking away at the ball, and you're just moving around and doing your thing. Do you find you play better?
absolutely. And my hitting partner slash pro person, she's just so wonderful because every once in a while she'll just be like, just stroke it, you know. And I know what she's telling me. She's saying, don't criticize myself. And it's, of course, I play better. I play fantastically well. I,
Mm,
you know, for my whatever my skill set is. But it's amazing, you know, and it goes back to look at how children teach themselves to crawl and to walk. There is nobody imposing in them. You know, you put this hand forward and then you
right.
bring that knee forward and then you put this hand forward and bring this knee. You know, the kids just do it naturally. So that natural, I say conscious unconsciousness. Conscious.
Absolutely. And look what's going on there with that little child that's learning how to crawl. It's curiosity. It's no negativity whatsoever. There's no voice saying,
No
"What, hey, what are
judgment.
you doing? Hey, don't put your foot that way and don't do this." They're
Yeah.
just exploring and enjoying the moment. And I've thought back, times like once every 5 years when I bowl, somebody invites me out, whatever. I think back to the best times I've ever done it. And I even say, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like
Yeah.
lobbing the balls, like, oh, got a strike. Oh, look at that. We get in our heads and even the curiosity
It's
level
true.
of playing tennis, bowling, whatever it might be, think for a second, I wonder if I, just flick the ball that way. I wonder what it's going to do. Instead of worrying about, oh, I'm going to be judged. Oh, I'm going to suck today. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
no.
think that at all, though. I
Mm.
never think that because I don't really care. And I've had people on the court, and it's funny. It's like a backhanded compliment because there are people who are like, it's just incredible. You have such a positive attitude, even when people are like giving you this feedback. And I'm like,
Love
why
it.
wouldn't I? I mean, I don't say that to the person. I just kind of like thank them. But
Mhm.
it's like such a funny thing. But we should do a podcast next week about the shame, the shame people put themselves on, because I'm not like that at all. Like I'll pick up a golf club and go golfing with somebody. I'll do anything. I don't mind. But I also have a sense of humor about myself. But I also am not embarrassed. I mean, I'm not.
Mm.
I'm not worried about what other people think. If other people are judging me, that is their problem totally. Like I don't look at other people and judge them when we're playing sports.
You know what?
I don't do
I,
that. I don't
Susie,
get it.
I get what you're saying so clearly because I was that other person. And then I flipped it around in the last number of years where I don't really worry about, what people think. I don't really worry about how that performance is going to go
Not
playing
about
tennis or whatever.
anything. Yeah.
I don't. And I'm going to say these words, and I don't know if it's the right words, but I don't care anymore.
Well,
I don't mean that in a negative way, but I don't care. Like I'm just gonna go do my thing. I don't care if I don't score high. I don't. I'm just
yeah.
having fun with it.
Well,
That's the goal.
the goal is what I care about is having joy in my day to day or my day to day experiences,
Hmm,
or when I set out to play tennis, or
sure.
when I go for a swim in the ocean. I expect to have joy, and that's in our command.
Ooh, you know what? Expectations. I believe that expectations are everything. So setting that expectation, I expect to have joy. I expect to have fun doing this. Hmm.
Everything. I do that in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll write that down. Hold
Let that generalize. I don't mean to be a show off.
on. No, but I never thought of it that way. Like we have, I'm literally right down. I believe that expectations, it just makes things better. Even hanging out with your friends on Friday night, there are expectations. There really are when you think about it, that we're going
That's
to have
going
a
to be
good time.
fun,
Right. But I have a friend
but
who's
that's not
celebrating.
pressure.
There's a birthday celebration Friday, and here's my expectations. When we all get together, not always that we're all together at once, this group, and bring whoever you want in, that we have a good time. The band that's going to be playing, I have an expectation. I've seen them sometimes before. They're great. That's I've already set the expectations. It's going to be a wonderful time. But
But the expectation doesn't have to be measured by what are other people thinking.
right,
Is the band on point? Is the expectation is measured by ourselves, and isn't the problem with life the loss of joy in experiences?
yeah.
And I know that that's a different discussion too.
We'll
And then we're
press
going to meet next week and we're
we'll,
like, what were
we'll,
we going to talk
we'll press the pause button,
about?
and shame will be next time we get together. What do you think?
Okay, I'll write it down.
Yeah, I'm going to write down too. I'm writing down everything today, and I have thoughts about that whole shame thing. I heard something recently, and we'll get to that. You're wonderful in these conversations. We can take the tiniest little thought and open it wide up and see it from all different angles. But
Yeah,
this is what you do.
because there's
Um,
so many perspectives.
yeah, Susan
Zoom
Engel.
out.
Your website, susanengel-lcsw.com. You're available. You got questions. You can work with people anywhere on this and more. Like it's,
We should have a gigantic Zoom meeting once every 2 weeks.
yeah, like
Like-
join us
Hundreds of people should just sign up for it
and heal
chat in their question.
and move your life forward. And by the way, instantfeedbacksteve@gmail.com. Hit us up on that today. Even what we're talking about here and the quiet, maybe you've experienced it. Maybe you have no idea what we're talking about and you think we're crazy. We want to hear it. We want to hear it.
They're crazy. Good crazy.
Good crazy. Thank you for today. Love
Thank
you. Love
you.
what you do. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.